What's up, team? Full day of eating video coming right now. It's 1 o'clock. I woke up not that long ago. I was up super late. So I actually considered pushing this back and doing it a different day, but I said I'd do it today simply because eating in a surplus, getting 4,200 calories when I'm up at 1 and I'm gonna go to sleep at 11, it's a shortened day, so it's gonna be not that fun. But I committed to it, we're doing it. Here is what I had for breakfast about 20 minutes ago. This muscle milk, I wanted the Pro Series 40, but I just had this with 25, 9, and 5, I think, and then 1 peanut butter Cliff Bar. I'm going to probably have some caffeine right now, do about 2.5 hours of work, and then have a pre-workout meal, train, and then fight like hell to get. My macros are, I aim for at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, so 180, 185-ish right now. Let's actually find out. And, come on, 184.2. And keeping fats around 100 grams. Sometimes I go slightly over, but super high carb protein. I usually end up somewhere between 180 and 250, and then like 600 to 700 carbs. So let's get into it. My caffeine source, 140 milligrams of caffeine, not 140 grams, that'd be a lot. 0 calories, sweetened primarily with erythritol. There's a tiny bit of sucralose in here, which I'm okay with, but yeah, I just don't feel like going and getting coffee, and I had this here. All right, supplement time. Here are the 4 supplements I take. Timing is not relevant, so I usually take them anytime mid-morning. 2.5 grams per capsule of creatine. 20 to 25 total grams a week is what I aim for. 600 milligrams of curcumin for inflammation. 3 fish oil capsules. These are 500 milligram EPA and DHA. So what I try to get, come on, focus. I'm going for 1.5 grams of EPA per day. It's not gonna give it to us. I'm bad with technology. And then 1 2000 IU of vitamin D. All right, let's go see what this pre-workout meal is that I just cooked up for myself. We got about 40 grams of protein worth of egg whites, 2 packets of oatmeal, and 1 banana. And this is about 10 ounces of mango. I'm only gonna eat roughly half of it. So we'll be around 100 carb, I gotta add all this up, but roughly 50 protein, 100 carb, and very little fats. So one thing I find that really helps, because a lot of people who are in a surplus, like some of my coaching clients, men primarily, who I have on high carb and like even moderate fat, struggle to get enough carbs just because they're not used to eating like this. Getting, like, first figuring out what the foods are that have a lot of carbohydrates and very little tag-along fats, like fruit, like oats, figuring out what those are and stacking them pre and post workout. I just find that I'm hungrier around my training and I'm able to eat more carbs. So if I get 300, if I get like 40 to 50% of my carbs for the day around my workout, I'm just gonna have an easier time than when dinner rolls around. If I'm like, oh, last meal of the day, I gotta hit 300 carbs in this meal, it's gonna be like super uncomfortable to accomplish that. Train, let's go. Here's what I look like flexing, by the way. What's up, what's up, what's up? Just having my pre-workout, and I'm drinking, I'm having C4, which isn't even a good pre-workout. Like there isn't no effective dose of beta-alanine. They use a proprietary blend. Like, it's basically just caffeine, and it tastes kind of good. They use a lot of, you can tell there's a lot of sucralose because it's a little bit higher in the ingredient list, and because it tastes really, really sweet. But I'm using it because it was all I had access to when I was in the Hamptons back in June, and I had like a crazy 6 weeks of, when I was in the Hamptons working, by the way, I'm not like in the Hamptons. I had a crazy 6 weeks of progress, and so now mentally, I'm like, I just need that C4. So that's the pre-workout, scoop and a half, about to go train, chest, back. It's like a full upper day. A lot of horizontal pushing and pulling with a bunch of like lateral raises in there, I believe. Okay, so game time. 4:20 right now. Gonna have to probably get Chipotle post-workout. I probably have 3 more meals in me today to get enough food. All right, check in soon. All right, guys, post-workout meal here. If you follow me on Snapchat, you know I'm big on the Chipotle fake-out. So I was coming into Jimmy John's just to like screw around on Snap. I'm gonna go here and then run over to Chipotle. And then I saw this, which got me super hype and made me want to eat here. So I ordered number 14. I don't know the macros, I'll look them up. The nice thing about the bulk is if you just keep it low fat during the day, I'm gonna be struggling to get enough calories at night, and I'll do what I have to in my last meal. I'm never gonna overeat on the bulk. So I got, it's double meat with roast beef and turkey, and then there's probably like 14 grams of fat worth of mayo in there, but I haven't really had much fats at all today, so I'm not super worried. Just saw one of my good high school buddies, Travis, and his fiance in the parking lot, and they're going over to get Ritas, which is like froyo or Italian ice or something. I don't know. We just got it here, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna bring this over, eat it, and get some dessert at the same time. All right, here we go. The sandwich is basically done. We got a blendini. What's a blendini?
It's frozen ice and custard. It's a East Coast thing.
It's an East Coast thing, but we got them here now. I'm guessing like the custard is gonna have a little bit of fats, but the shaved ice is just straight sugar and water. So we'll look this up online too. But this is gonna put my fats close. So tonight's gonna be a grind. We'll see. You got anything else to say to YouTube, bro? Trap's one of my oldest buddies back from high school. Jaguars, baby. All right, that's it. I'll see you at the next meal. What's up, guys? Just shot the thumbnail for this here at this table and then put all my food back away. And I just added up my macros. I had to estimate the Ritas because their website like just doesn't work. It has nutrition facts, but it was buggy and didn't work. I estimated it at 90 carb, 22 fat, 5 protein, which puts me at a place where I'm not pumped right now for the day because I got a lot of eating to do. 131 protein, 320 carbs, 71 fat. I wanted to be asleep by like 10 or 10:30. It's 9:06 right now. It's just not gonna happen. So I just gotta pound a lot of carbs. I got these Skinny Cow things, which are pretty tasty actually. I think 30 carb, 2 fat per. And 30 carb, 2 fat, 4 protein each. So these will help me out. Probably have 2 or 3 of these right now. It's a grind. I'm not complaining about eating this much because I know being a 5'3" girl with not a lot of lean tissue and trying to diet sucks a lot worse. I'm also not complaining because I just fucking hate complaining. Alright guys, shoot you super straight right now. I'm really tired. It's 10:20. I gotta get up at like 5:25. I like getting 8 hours of sleep. I'm already less than that. I'm only at 143 protein, 410 carbs, 77 fat. It's not very good. Normally I eat far more vegetables than I have today. But like the shortened day, my days are usually 16, 17 hours. Today I got up at 1. It's like a 10-hour day. So I'm cramming it all in. I'm not just gonna go to sleep though. I'm gonna go get out there and hit my macros, but I just want you to know I really want to go to sleep, but I'm not going to. Just in case you can relate to that at all. Applies like vice versa, right? If you're laying in bed and you're super hungry and you're cutting, do you tough it out? Do you slam a glass of water and just go to bed? Or do you eat 800 calories of Ben & Jerry's? Like, doing the right thing in the short term and these little decisions and not missing by 500 calories adds up over time. So let's just get up and do it right. Let's go do it right now. Let's go. Guys, these are some of the most delicious, most crunchy sugar snap peas I've ever had in my entire life. Look good. 93% ground beef, 23 protein, 8 fat per 4 ounces. This is 8 ounces. All right, so here's what we're eating, guys. 2 of these, 104 grams of carb each. Free veggies. I'll probably crush this bag. This sauce is going to have 20 to 25 carb for what we use, and then 8 ounces of lean ground beef. I'm going to sleep ASAP. See you tomorrow.
What's up? It's the next day. Just want to film a super quick recap and say a couple quick things about like high carb versus high fat diets and sugar, because I'm sure some questions will come up related to those if you just watch this video, which you did. So high fat diets are really trendy right now. I have no problem with high fat, low carb. The reason I like higher carb, lower fat is because in a calorie surplus, for the smallish percentage of us who are trying to build muscle, it's really difficult for the human body to store carbohydrates as body fat. We just don't have a mechanism that's very efficient at that, even at high carbohydrate intake. So when people say carbs make them fat, usually they're just eating high carb foods that have a lot of tag-along fats, right? So if they're eating 150, 200 grams of fat, and it's all relative, and a decent amount of carbs, it isn't the carbs that's making them fat. It's the calorie surplus, but then it's the dietary fat along with the calorie surplus. If you were to keep fats very low, which just isn't that enjoyable, but in like the 50 gram range and go very, very high carb, it'd be really difficult to add body fat even in a surplus. That said, I know a lot of people aren't in a surplus. I like carbs because they support training performance, because I enjoy the taste of them, for a lot of other reasons. The second point I want to make is related to sugar, because I just had like, I don't even know. It's a question I get a lot. How much sugar do you eat? Do you track your sugar? You're trying to go really high carb. How much sugar is okay? Clearly, if we're talking about glucose or high fructose corn syrup or processed sugar versus a starchy carbohydrate, the starchy carbohydrate is better for you, all else equal. If you've ever tried to eat exclusively potatoes for 700 grams of carbs per day, it's really, really difficult and not something that is enjoyable for me, not something I want to do. If eating this amount of sugar over time was leading to health problems, would I continue to do it? No, because I don't want to be unhealthy, because I want to live for a long time. But the research on sugar that exists is primarily based on correlations. So over time, sugar intake in the US goes up, obesity goes up. When you look at it on a case-by-case basis, when you look at Mike is eating 250 grams of sugar for many months, every single day in a row, but his triglycerides aren't moving, but his fasted blood glucose isn't moving, but his cholesterol is in a good place. Like my teeth might be fucked with cavities. We'll see, I'm going to the dentist in like a week. But as far as my health from eating high sugar and a calorie surplus, I get a physical every like 8 to 12 months and I'm in good shape. I get blood work done, I'm great. If I wasn't, I'd change that. There's a lot of, I don't want to call it hate, but there's a lot of confusion, and I just think it makes sense to look at, like, logically analyze things on a case-by-case basis rather than say some dude named Tobbs was trying to make money and pulled a few pretty bullshit studies together, paint a broad brush stroke. Like, if you have poor insulin sensitivity because you were obese and you lost a lot of weight, yeah, you probably shouldn't eat very much sugar if you want to continue to stay lean. But if you're a lean person and you can stay lean and eat a decent amount of sugar as well as vegetables, you should probably have more than like 1 or 2 servings a day, a lot of lean proteins, and your strength training, like, do it. Anyway, that was a longer rant than I wanted here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you like this style of like longer video, a little bit more editing. Talk to you soon.